Hello everyone, welcome to your social science class. Today we are going to begin with the first chapter of your civics, the Indian Constitution. So children, do you know what is a constitution? See, for studying in a school, you need to follow certain rules and regulations. Where are those rules and regulations written? Those rules and regulations are written down in your school diary. Similarly, for running a government and for being a citizen of your country also, you need to follow certain rules and regulations. Where are those rules and regulations written? In a law book. Okay, and that law book is known as a constitution. Okay, you can also call constitution as a set of rules that provides the framework and the basis for functioning of a society or a country. Now, what does the constitution contains? A constitution, it contains the limits of government jurisdiction. It contains the rights of the citizens, the fundamental duties of the citizens, the powers and functions of the different organs of government. Not only that, it also contains the method by which you can change or you can amend the constitution itself. Okay? Now, why do we need this constitution? First of all, we need constitution to rule over us because it is a set of written rules and law according to which a state is governed. Secondly, it elaborately discusses the duties of the citizens. The Constitution also guarantees its citizen certain fundamental rights. It also prevents the government from becoming autocratic because the functions of the government and the limitations of the government are all clearly written down in the Constitution, and the government cannot work beyond that limitation. Is it clear? Not only that, it also delimits the scope and the activities of various organs of the government. The Constitution, children, also helps us to understand the political system of our country. So these are all several reasons for which we need the Constitution. One more very vital reason is there for which we need a Constitution, and that is the Constitution, it also protects the minorities. Minorities means whom? The socially and the economically backward classes. Okay. It also protects the minorities from the oppression of the majority. Okay. It also protects the minorities. Is it clear? Now, I am going to discuss some key facts about the Constitution with you. Students, the Indian Constitution is the lengthiest constitution in the world. It is the longest constitution. Not only that, it is also the written constitution. Now, constitution can be always of two types. It can be either written or unwritten. But Indian Constitution is the lengthiest written constitution in the world. In fact, you can say that the Indian Constitution is partly rigid and partly flexible. Now, what do you mean by rigid and what do you mean by flexible? Rigid means when you cannot change the rules and regulations that are mentioned in the Constitution. Now, our Indian Constitution is neither rigid nor flexible. You can say that it is partly rigid and partly flexible. How come it is partly rigid and partly flexible? See children, there are certain rules and regulations in the Indian Constitution that can be changed by 2/3 majority resolution passed in the Parliament. But there are certain things in the constitutions that cannot be changed. For example, the structure of the Indian Constitution. You cannot change the structure of the Indian Constitution. That is strictly rigid. Okay. Now, what are the composition of the Indian Constitution? The Constitution, it earlier consisted of 395 articles and 8 schedules, to which further addition have been made through regular amendments or changes, and at present the Indian Constitution, it contains 448 articles in 25 parts, 12 schedules, 5 appendixes, and near about more than 98 amendments. Okay, so these are the key composition of the Indian Constitution. Now, the Constitution, as you know, that it was formed by the Constituent Assembly. Now, the Constituent Assembly, earlier it comprised of around 389 members. Okay, but when India got divided, or after the partition of India, it turned into around 299 member. Okay, now among those 299 member, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he was elected as the first president of our country. Okay, and not only that, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he was also the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Okay, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he was made the head or the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay, so today up to this, in my next video, I shall discuss with you some features of the Indian Constitution.
Namaste all of you. I welcome you all in my YouTube channel.